Hello guys, my name is Kane, and today I'm going to be giving you a book review on Who Was King Tut. So if you don't know why his name was Tut exactly, well, Tut is shortened because, well, it's an Egyptian name that I don't know how to pronounce. You could search it up, but here's my first attempt, Tutankhamun, or I don't have the exact accent, so it's just I just can't do it. But he was a ruler of Egypt who died before even reaching his 20s, which sounds crazy because, you could have gotten, murdered and you could have died at age 20, no suspicion. But if he died at age 20 with death of age, it's crazy. So, King Tut, well, he was a pharaoh and he ascended to the throne at a whopping age of 9 years old. Because his father was very famous and most people respected him, most people gave him gifts, most people looked up to him, and well, that's why King Tut was very famous. So King Tut was a pharaoh, and he is not exactly, but estimated to be a 3,000-year-old mummy. So he had over 80 pairs of shoes. There was a bunch of pairs of shoes, not pairs, different types of shoes, either high heels, not sneakers, because they didn't have sneakers at that time, sorry. But they had different types of shoes, different types of soles and stuff inside. And if you don't know what a sole is, it's basically like a cushion part of, oh no, it's the part of your foot, and it's also a cushion part of the shoe. He had precisely 5,000 priceless jewels, necklaces, bracelets, and even he was buried in 3 coffins. And the fact that there's so much to talk about this guy, this book was actually very short. It doesn't look short, but the amount of time spending, when you read it, it feels like it just goes as fast as that. And this is one of the only books I've experienced it with this. But also you can make it seem to go long, but I don't know if it's just me, this book, I don't know if you guys feel it too. But there wasn't a lot to talk about King Tut because all this book mentioned or talked about were tomb robbers and some ancient rituals in Egypt. But I can't just stand up and do it for you guys right now because this is a book review, not a representation of Egyptian cultural traditional dances. But there wasn't really a lot to talk about except for some facts. Well, everybody knows that, well, not everybody, but King Tut was a boy king, and he was a pharaoh. There's some disgusting stuff they did at that time, such as rituals. And whenever they had a pharaoh, they put their most main organs in different jars, like the liver, the heart, the brain, and even lungs. It's pretty priceless now, but at that time, it was literally worth your life. I don't know why someone would want to buy it, but he died at 19. So some people think that his throne was cursed, but scientists cannot have proven that yet. Well, they might have, and I just don't know about it, but they didn't mention it in this book. But maybe scientists know, I don't know. But that's all I really mentioned in the Who Was King Tut. But there's also a representation of what was inside the pyramids and some traps, and how tomb robbers went around the traps. They maybe dug their own tunnel, or they brought whatever to disable some traps, but not lasers at that point. Maybe some traps were there's spikes and the whole ground drops. At that time they were pretty good at setting up traps. But anyways, aside from the point, this was 8 out of 10. Could have just not talked about tomb robbers, and I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Just trying to include more storyline and stuff like that. But as always, I have to show you the bibliography. And here's the timeline. I'll give you a second to read that. But aside from the point, a lot of things were interesting book, and I hope you liked my book review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And King Tut, out of here.